93.59 coming in for the index. That's, to my mind, a good open. Don't just look at the percentage move. The market has held on to the levels that we closed at in yesterday's session. So this is not really about absolute gains. This is really about the market holding on to key levels. You have the mid-cap and the small-cap indices, which are higher by about 0.5%. Drilling it down to specifics, let's start off with Axis Bank. A good move in the stock, 1% higher at open at 524. Actually a little over 1% is the kind of gain seen there. Kotak Bank ahead of earnings. Be mindful of the move here as well. 1% higher at 907. Tata Motors is seeing some bit of traction. Indiabulls Housing Finance is higher. Wipro continues, the numbers looked good for the quarter gone by. The guidance may be a little sluggish, but even so, I think the market is holding on to the interest in Wipro. Then there's Cipla, there's Grasim. It's a quiet open, suffice to say, even for the broader markets. I'm seeing not many names pick out, but I just want to mark the names that we had highlighted earlier on. Tata Sponge, that one opens 4.5% higher. Good earnings coming in from this major. As far as the mining's business goes, you also have Parag Milk Foods, traction seen there, 2% up on that counter. I'm looking at All Cargo Logistics, picking it up in the session. GIC Housing came out with a decent set of numbers. Let's see what that stock has done in trade. So, I think a good performance should be expected from GIC Housing as well, 2% higher there. I also want to talk about the stocks which have just come out of F&O ban, HDIL, Infibeam, and JSW Energy. If you could just roll up those names as well on the screen. Well, like Darshan said, you might just see some flurry of activity, some price and volume participation because they've come out of F&O ban.
Yeah, it's a quiet start for the index nonetheless, and the small caps are seeing a bit of a bounce after yesterday's correction of about nearly 1.5%, so about 0.5% higher for the small caps. But again, this is just the initial reading. Who knows where these rates actually settle. Infi started off with a green tick. Tata Motors DVR. Tata Motors is your top winner on the index. But again, the gains on the index are not large by any quantum. It's not even 1% on Tata Motors, which is the top mover in the pre-open rates, or rather the first ticks, I beg your pardon. Maruti ahead of its numbers is looking smart, and so is Kotak. Marginal as it may be, but nonetheless they are seeing a bit of green to start off the day with. Not such a great day for Axis Bank. Let's check in on that one, how it's been reacting to its numbers. It's actually down 1.25% as we speak. Lupin is a drag. Bharti Infratel, BPCL, HDFC and ITC are all drags, and so is ICICI Bank as we speak. For the index, it's just a very, very quiet start. Much unexpected lines. Let's check in on the movers from yesterday. CEAT, MRF both held very smartly. So let's see whether the tire trade actually continues. Sure enough, it does. 69,000 plus levels now for MRF. CEAT starts off down 1%. Apollo Tires up in the green by about 1%. NIT Technologies, this was a big winner yesterday with a 5% move on the futures. Today it settled roughly around 456 thereabouts. Apollo Hospitals, Cummins, Andhra Bank, these were the other top traded stories yesterday, and Apollo Hospitals continue to see some massive traction. Apollo Hospitals was up 4.5% yesterday. Today it's up 2.5%. So that's no joke for a counter like Apollo Hospitals to put on almost 7 to 8% in just 2 trading sessions. Adani Enterprises, let's check in on the big crack from yesterday. Today it's seeing some green ticks, 7% higher as we speak. Adani Power is the other one which should come for you on your screens. HPCL, GMR Infra, and yes, Realty as a pack was a big laggard yesterday. So I just want to revisit that story. HDIL is a little bit in the green. DLF, Indiabulls Real Estate, these should all come up for you on your screens.